Hey guys, it's KTV here. This is almost like an electrical repair, replacement, modification video. What am I up to? So I have this disco light. It's in very, very battered condition. I know the side's broken, but it doesn't support LEDs. Could use colour changing incandescents, but they've been phased out. So what idea do I have for these lights? I could use them for this, that, whatever. However, no, because I always think energy efficiency is key. It needs to be energy efficient in order to be good. So, I haven't got any colour changing bulbs, but I've got 6 bulbs in there. Most are incandescent, 1 is halogen. And because I couldn't use LED on it, there were restrictions. It used to respond to music, however that was when it had incandescence. This was stopping the LEDs from working. This motherboard that controls everything. It was a problem in a lamp that I had from that my nan wanted repaired. She wanted it repaired, and we tried putting an LED bulb in and it didn't work because it had electronics, not this type of electronics, but it had electronics in the way of a standard bayonet cap bulb holder. So it wasn't working. So we had to toss that aside. And what am I working on now? So I have the original switch in there, and I've taken the panel out and I'm stripping my wire. Why am I doing this, you may ask? Because I'm going to put all the neutrals and all the lives together, and I'm going to basically make a 6-way light. But it can't be a light. It can't just be a light because this is a party light. You need the atmosphere. So in the local shop here, there's bulbs for £2.99, and they're colour changing remote control spotlights. And to make it very good, they have the E27 base, so no converters needed, they just plug straight in. What am I going to do? Obviously not this time, not in this video, I'll do it in the upcoming future, but when I do it, I'll make another video. I'm going to get them, 6 of them, and I'm going to put them all inside this unit. Why, you may ask? Then it is a colour changing, smart, remote controlled LED disco light. It won't strobe, but it will definitely show some, it'll definitely make it groovy than what it was now. At the moment I'm just making standard bulb holders, by the way. I'm just making this into standard bulb holders. So I'm stripping all my wire to make it. Then I'm going to strip my ends of my wire. So I'm going to put this all together. So I have to strip all the neutrals, all the lives. Obviously this has to be switched. This is powered by a standard 13 amp plug. Yes, that is a replacement plug, but okay. So I have a new plug on there. Fair enough, it worked with the electronics, but electronics were restricting what I wanted to do. So I have to be cautious with how I'm doing it. I need to think, do I want incandescence using 6 watts power, or do I want energy efficient LEDs? And in this modern world, because remember guys, there will be a day where incandescents, they completely stop making them, and when that happens, we have to change to LED alternatives. Yes, I could buy a new pair of disco lights, but that's not very efficient in my mind. That's just throwaway. That's the typical throwaway society of the 21st century. So what's stopping me from taking the old and reusing it into this way? Because there's nothing wrong with doing this. It's completely safe. I just have to, as long as it's wired correctly, it'll be absolutely fine. So I'm just stripping out my wire. Then I'm going to lock down the cord grips. Then once I've got the back on, I'll show you inside how it's going to be wired up. So we just do this last one. It looks like a herd of wires right now, but it's really easy to work through. So we cut our cable. That's insulation. We sleeve the end. Now, we don't want exposed brown and blue, as in there. So we have to plug these back. What is pretty clever, these have a little thing, little cord grip. You use a flathead screw and they lock into place. So I'm going to be using that for working. So I'm restricting myself so I don't use too much or too little, because they still need to reach and the unit still needs to go together. So we'll get this together, we'll get this cord grip. That cord grip is completely shattered because it's plastic. So it's going to have to be replaced with an alternative, aka hot glue. So this one's splitting as well. Well done. They're not very good, put it this way. They're not the best core grips, but they work, they work. So I'm screwing this together now. Right, that's gone a bit dodged, but okay. Let's screw them together. And I'll catch up with you when we get further. Here's the progress so far. So I'm using my soldering iron and I'm melting wire together. So I'm soldering wire together. I'm doing this on the lives because there's so many pins here, to the point where the soldering iron, to the point where a terminal block couldn't handle the capacity properly. So by using a terminal block, using solder, sorry, we can ensure that it will all go together. And how do we fix it? We can't use a terminal block, so instead we use this stuff. What it is, it's called heat shrink tubing. You put it over something, over wire, sorry, and it will shrink to the size to make a electrical proof, water resistant connection. You can cut it down, you just have to apply some heat to it. So you need to line it up to everything that you want to heat shrink together. So you just simply have to line it up to everything, cut it to your correct length, and I'm going to use my mother's hairdryer for this because we haven't seemed to got any lighters at the moment. Oh, it won't switch on. There we go, that's engraved itself around the wire. Just for added safety, on the big 6 one, I'm going to add some electrical tape, just for a little bit of added safety. Nobody's going to have their hands in here. This is not exposed to the open world, however, it's never a bad idea to provide a little bit of resistance to what you're doing. The heat shrink just come right off that. What? Why has the heat shrink come off that? Right, we're going to have to get ourselves a new piece. Maybe try a smaller piece for this one. For this piece of wire, try a smaller piece because it is it's a smaller solder joint. So let's try this again. And that isn't going round. Right, so I'm just going to have to use a terminal block for this one because it's not specifically the most important job of all. It's just simply connecting the mains to a switch. So we've used solder heat shrink, all our wires are connected up, so in theory, obviously I'm going to make something for the front of this because there's still exposed material. In theory, when I plug this in, all 6 of the lights turn on. So obviously they need remote control smart bulbs to make it work properly. So let's get this machine back together, then we can sort it out from there. Right, all 6 of the bulbs are together. Okay, so we need to, there we go. And just to check it, we'll plug it in again. So, where's that plug? Also I rewired it, guys. I used a moulded plug. And happy days. What's that? There's a bit of solder on the bulb, what the hell? I think for an incandescent that'll be enough to weld it. I'm definitely going to buy some more. However, you may ask, Kieran, how are you going to make this a smart light when you've wired it all together? There's two options. Could use coloured LEDs, or I could use this technology, remote controlled smart bulbs, so I could do flash on them and another one on them. That is how I'm going to achieve the effect of making these LED disco lights. There's another unit over there. I'm trying to work with PJ Electrics. I'm going to bring it down to Will, the owner. If he wants to be in the video, then he can. And I want to see if he can change that thing to work with the music, with the energy efficient LEDs, because at the moment it's still old-fashioned incandescent. That just about wraps this video up, so remember to like, comment and subscribe, and peace out guys.